Though, of course, there are some interesting hellscapes left in their wake, which you are rather familiar with. Stories from your mother and father.
I'm gonna mute my audio.
It intrigues you, to say the least. Stories of beings considered demigods, powerful enough to shake not even just the world, but its gods. And presumably that's your father. Your mother being equally, if not stronger. They're both interesting. In love with each other, by not just definition. Childhood friends that, hell, their love story could probably be in a book. Your father and your mother had a dream of adventuring into the sea. And so you did. They did. Your father gaining something of renown and fear amongst merchants and pirates alike. Your mother, his right hand and first mate. Terrifying in both combat and in her dance-like performances as she cuts through her enemies. You've raided village, town, city, coast, and inland. Your crew's your family. Grown up on the sea. You're what, 20? 21?
I believe it should be in descriptions. Well, I kind of forgot that.
You're younger.
Well, actually, you would decide it. You would decide it, because I know his age post this.
20. What would your age be post this?
102.
Right. Then you would be older, because brain, remembering you're essentially immortal. Your mother died when you were about 30 years old. Probably, no. You would have died when you were 80. Decently recent, considering the time frame. But it hit your father like a brick, knocking out more than just his teeth. He changed after that. Almost deranged in a way, silently commanding his crew to where you normally would have just attacked, left many survivors. He just killed. The engine that beats where his heart should have been. Growing louder with each and every soul that he brought to their knees. Warped by the loss and the years, he had lost himself. And now you stand on your ship, which, what would Ven call his ship?
What would Ven call his ship? Probably the guilty pleasure.
Fitting. It is raining. And if not for that rain, the ship would be far more bloody than it is. Thunder rolling in the distance. As you see your father, Ven Akiran, standing with one slightly clawed hand around the throat of someone you'd grown up with. A deckhand that was an elf that's roughly about the same age as you. Ven has his hand clutched around this person's neck. as the slightly longer dagger that you've seen your father use, forged of this beautiful black and amber, something similar to the weapon he gifted you, of the same material. Put that blade to this elf's stomach, just under the ribs, and slowly push and twist, methodically, as if cutting through butter with a warm knife. And then drops the body, tossing it to the side. I'd like you to roll initiative.
8.
An 8. Fitting, as you're stunned by your father's actions. This fight has been going on for a while. Your crew had done some damage to your father, but he is powerful. That was his turn, so I'll say you may go next.
He's standing there, almost petrified from fear.
You can hear the engine just beating.
Why are you doing this? It's already bad enough with the thousands of enemies we've killed already, but us? The crew? Dad, this is too far gone even for you.
Not a word. Just a slight shift in how he's holding the blade.
Is he looking at me?
Yes.
Look closer. Look, it's me, Vitra, your son. Please. Look at me in the eyes, and then look at the rest of this. Does this look like what Mom would have wanted you to do after her passing? Does this look like what she wanted to see you become?
Make a wisdom save.
"17.
Failure. You are paralyzed. As under his gaze, the fear is no longer just mental. It locks your joints. The beating of the engine loud in your ears. He just turns away from you. You see a number of the crew is also locked in this way, as Ven just walks away. Your body is forced to look in the way it was, where he stood. So you don't see what happens. All you do see is a bit of blood. It's caught by the rain and wind and pulled away. You hear the screams, the terror, the tearing of flesh, the splattering of blood mixed with the rain. Of course, there's some clashing. But as the spell ends, after about a minute, you see Ven stood over the bodies of whatever crew remained. Just looking forward, the beating of the engine so much louder now. Almost deafening even from the distance you stand. Because this is now just you and him. You can see he's been injured. A large gash across his back. Smaller ones on his arms where you presumably blocked. One of his eyes sits covered with blood. As you see, he holds the replacement of your mother in the first mate position by the throat. Not stabbing, just crushing it. You just hear the ah! And there's a crack. What do you do?
Look back at to where the body of my childhood friend once was. And Vitra sort of steels himself in a way. He looks back at Fen, walking down this way.
He hasn't
and
turned
drops his
around.
weapon.
He's just crushing the rope.
Loud enough that he can hear it. Let me double check something. Loud enough that he can hear it and will notice. I throw the weapon that he gave me, and I throw it just before, about 2 feet before his feet. Or, well, yeah, 2 feet before his feet, to get his attention towards me.
He'll look. Still holding the throat. He drops it. That silent stare just piercing into you.
Look, Dad, I'm not going to fight. I'm not going to fight you. I threw that weapon there to show you that I'm not going to. So please, just hear me out. Why can't you just drop him? Just look at me for now, please.
He's looking at you.
Yet your iron grip holds. Seemingly sobbing, with tears in his eyes, he would walk up to Ven and hug him. I love you, Dad. Please. Stop this. Please. And slyly, he would glance up to see if his expression changes, or if there's any change at all in his mannerisms.
Steely, you can see his eyes are watering, though it's hard to tell in the rain. You hear something crunch. Presumably, the throat he was holding, as a hand is placed on the back of your head. It's loving, which might throw you off a bit more. I love you too.
Vitra,
You hear the words. You have 6 seconds to do something.
Vitra's sniffling stops, and suddenly, he instinctively and very quickly reaches into Ven's core and yanks as hard as he possibly can, looking him dead in the eyes.
Make a
No, it's a
Constitution saving throw.
14. Oh,
14.
almost not 20.
You grab into a wound that was on his stomach and just reach, and you feel it hot burn your hand as you pull.
And before he even has a chance to react, I look at him dead in the eyes as I grab it. And I say, I know you do. I love you just as much. Which is exactly why I have to do this. And then I pull.
As you pull, the noise, the beating, the drumming of just the engine, the boom, 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 louder and louder and louder. In those milliseconds that it takes you to formulate the thought of pulling, your ears are just overtaken, your mind shakes. Searing pain as you just pull, stumbling back as it's weirdly easy to get out. You put more force than you needed. You stumble, almost tripping. As Ven just stands there. No smile. No thank you, no anger either. Just blank. Like shutting off a light switch. And he falls over. No loud explosion, no nothing. Just falls to his knees. The blade clattering against the wood. His head hangs. As the engine, smaller than you thought, a small white ball with about 8 different rings spinning around it, though they do not spin in the way you grab them. Your hand clutched around it, about the size of probably about the size of a baseball. As the thrumming stops, all that is left is the rain. What do you do?
Holding Ven's core in his hand, he'll look at it. He ponders throwing it into the sea, and then decides it's not worth it. It's not to hit East. Considers pocketing it, but he feels like even that's a disrespect. So clutching it, he walks up to the bow of the ship and grabs the captain's wheel and looks out into the sea. He looks for any obvious waves, large ones specifically.
Hundreds. But just as you think that, what you would expect to have been the engine that explodes, it's Ven's body. As it's not flashy, it's just... And then the ship erupts. Wood flies in all different directions as you are thrown back against the railing and hit. Make a dex save. As there is just a...
5.
5. You fall and land on the helm. The ship begins to tip upwards. Ven's body gone. The front half of the ship, whatever is left after it exploded, is already sunken. You can feel the burning on the side of your body as the engine slipped out of your grasp and rolls. You landed about here, wedged against the railing and other wooden bits of the ship. Still just rains.
Like that. My turn.
Yep.
Vitra stands back up and, shakily moving along the now collapsing ship, goes over towards the engine.
Get
On
there.
his way, he
It's
glances up,
decently easy.
looks into the sky, and thinks about the look on his dad's face. He remembers the mark that he has. So even you couldn't save him, huh? He looks back down and grabs the engine.
As you touch it, I would like you to make one last Constitution save.
20.
You grab it, and it burns the same way it did the first time. It's the armor your mother gifted you. Sears, the metal burning into your skin as it just pop. Plates. Destroyed. Gone. Feel the veins in your arm begin to glow a white hot as they run up your arm, crawling up your neck. You see the skin begin to peel away from them as you hold the engine. It's painful. Unbelievably so. To the point where it's difficult to stay conscious, much less to stay upright on a ship that is sinking. As you slip. Simple as that. And hit the railing. You take 20 points of bludgeoning damage and are knocked unconscious. There's a splash. And then nothing. Just ocean. It's quiet in the dark. Nothing incredible. No dreams. Not that you dreamed very often. Your body ragged. You can still feel it being shifted. Moved. You can feel the storm carry you back and forth and back and forth. As even in your unconscious state, you see the bright lightning crack across the sky. You hear the thunder, though muffled. You feel the water and just rush into your lungs as your body tries to breathe. So you're moved, sinking deeper. The waves spinning you in each direction. until that stops. Don't know how deep the ocean you are. But the angry swaying of the ocean no longer drags you. It's a different sense. The water, which was cold and frigid and biting, feels warmer, calmer. Not that the storm ended, but that something stepped in between you and it. Those are the only feelings you get. As you then begin to stir. Don't know how many hours, but you stir and taste sand and blood. As you stir. Warm air beating on your back, your hair messy and covered in sand and salt. The right side of your body horribly in pain and just raw and numb. Your hand still clutched around the engine. And you hear a voice. Ven, you don't speak Quarry, do you? Or sorry, Vitra.
What language?
I know the answer. It's no.
Probably not, no.
It's Quarry.
It's probably unique. Yeah. Then no.
What do you do as you hear what you can assume to be language?
Well, I'd probably just blink a few times and look around me. It's still laying on the ground.
It's fuzzy, but you see the knees of a person, presumably feminine, but your vision still is fuzzy and your right eye does not work. But you turn a bit to see the tan skin of a woman draped in golds and long black hair that gradients into a slight blue. A dress that shows her arms and cuts into a deep V in the middle, where it ends at a ring of gold at her navel, that then covers all the rest. Apologies. Are you alright?
Sorry, just 1 second. I'll glance over at my arm to see if it's like functional enough to let me sit up.
Presumably. It'll hurt.
And then, wincing from the pain, I'll just sit up.
Make a con save again.
23.
23. You're able to fight through it, but this figure does reach and put an arm under your right side, avoiding the scars as if she knows they're there, even underneath your clothes, which you realize are now ragged and ripped.
Yeah, I feel like they wouldn't be covering the scar anymore at that point.
She does help you sit up. Are you alright?
I'll hold up my arm. Just peachy.
A sense of humor is good to have.
Where am I right now?
A place you most likely don't know. This is my home. My family's home.
And you might be?
Guestia. You can call me a caretaker of sorts. I'm the one who took you out of the ocean.
Oh,
But that is beside the point.
much appreciated regardless.
Here, and she offers a hand to help you stand, as she does.
I'll take it and go. My name is Vitra. Just call me Vitra.
I understand. Do you remember what happened? It's fuzzy, but you do.
Clutching the core in my hand a little bit tighter. No, I don't remember anything at all.
Make a deception check.
God! Another almost nat 20 is so upsetting.
For reference, you
6.
are nat 20. Yeah, no.
Yeah, unfortunate.
You can tell she knows. Your parents were strong, so you know when someone's stronger than you.
Yeah.
Even though she doesn't hold the same grandiose as your parents, she's about 5'8", smaller frame.
Well, it's rather an issue of...
It's better than most.
Don't
You
want
remember
to.
your name. That's all that matters.
Fair enough.
If you follow the path that way, you'll reach a settlement. My son will take care of you there. Oh, and she reaches down and picks up, which you hadn't really noticed due to the lack of vision at the moment, the greatsword. I found this in the shipwreck. Don't suppose you know who it belonged to?
I'll stare intensely at the blade to see... Like, describe it to me. As Vitra.
It is... It's similar to the one your father got you, but different. A blade of translucent amber, veins of black running through it. Like spider webs from the hilt, wrapped in a what seemingly is silk. The blade sort of chipped in places as if it's been used.
Oh. Similar, yet different to something that I owned. So,
Well,
I'll hold on to it.
yes, then it's yours. Can you walk?
I'll take a step forward and backward, almost like a cha-cha in place, just without the cha-cha.
It's shaky, but possible.
Looks like I'll manage.
Alright. And I wish you luck, Vitra. There are many like you here. So know you are not alone.
Well, guess we'll find out. Thank you again for
No need.
helping me out and getting this.
It's my job. She will just wait for you. She takes a few steps closer to the water, but watches as you leave.
And on the way, right before he exits, Vitra kind of mutters, but also mainly just thinks to himself. I should have drowned them. There's no reason to pull me up. And he pushes onwards.
This island is probably more beautiful than you've seen. You are here. We'll grab Vitra's token. You are here. You can follow a rough path through the trees that leads to about here, but it takes a little while. You are dry, sort of dragging the greatsword. The sounds of animals and birds on the island. Is there any particular thing Vitra's doing?
He glances around and he acknowledges the beauty of this nature and realizes that it is beautiful and understands that. Yet, he stares into this beautiful landscape. And for whatever reason, he seems to find it a little dull. Yet he just goes forward, taking the beaten path.
You eventually arrive at a house, which I don't necessarily have a map for, but does its job. It's a simple house. Some stone, mostly wood, thatch roof. You'd see from the chimney smoke rising, and a wooden bridge that leads into more homes. Sparse that crawl up a mountain towards a tower. Quaint, and in this early-esque morn, it's about 9-10 a.m. The mountain creates a decent bit of shade on the town, city, maybe. What would you like to do?
His first attraction would be the tower, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So he'd probably go and try and climb up.
Climb the mountain?
The tower. Yeah.
It's easy enough to do. The paths lead, and where you would expect people, it's quiet. You do see some on your peripheries, but it's not like they're avoiding you. It's more that they just don't move to you. in a sense. You're aware of them, they're aware of you. But not once does anyone approach you. Not as a sense of discontent or anger, or even discrimination. Just hard to describe. So you reach the tower, climbing up past the trees that dot the area. You see a spiraling bit of road, almost seemingly man-made, that leads to a stone platform, number of pillars around it as a huge mass of flame sits in the center. Stand down here.
Do the whole loop.
It's quiet here. Quaint, even. No one is here. Well, even though you were seemingly unapproached by the people that inhabit this island. There was still that hustle-bustle of a town. That, no matter what is there due to people being there, even if they do let you pass. Here, there is nothing but that crackle of fire. Peaceful. Like sitting next to a fireplace. As you see flowers, bottles, a number of presumably offerings laid out in front of you. Baskets of food, freshly made or freshly picked. It's an interesting sense. That ball was not supposed to be there, but the offerings would be in the center of the flame. As smoke lightly rises from the fire, that you can tell even just by looking at it, it's magic. Presumably, at least.
I just glance around and see if there's any engravings or marking plaques maybe around.
There is one, but in a language you do not recognize. What's your passive perception? Or you can make a
13.
perception check if you want. If you think Vitra would be paying attention to his surroundings.
He definitely would be. Also, would I be at max HP by the time I get back? I realized I forgot to.
Yes. But you still do feel sore.
I'm gonna roll perception. It's probably a bad idea, actually. I'll take my chances. Shouldn't have taken my chances. I love the wall bounce on DD Beyond.
What'd you roll?
What?
What'd you roll? A 4. That one?
Not one.
Just being here feels weird. Feels sacred.
Does that feeling change if I step any closer?
No. Feels warm. But comfortably. as you do not notice the approach of another. Until you hear hands clasp together. Not even loud, just enough to make his presence known. You see a figure kneeling in front of the altar. His head low, you can see the dark skin, the sort of white gold tattoo across his face, up his neck and across his face. His hair marks of black, white, and blue. As he seems to be praying, his hands clasped together. At least paying reverence in some way. Not to you, though he is directed towards you, seemingly to the fire. You're new here.
Yeah. Definitely am. What
You're
is
different.
this place?
Much like you. Many people are brought here because they have no place else to go. It's a beacon, he says as he stands. A guiding light, in a sense. As he waves his hand towards, just outwards, and you can see everything from up here. Slightly below the clouds, you can see two other islands in the distance. Beautiful, clear blue waters. Glittering against the sun. A ship moving from here to here. As you stand here, the Founder's Light. Most people here. You are on Holmu at the Founder's Light. Up here.
Oh, I see.
There are many, like you, who come here. Lost, forgotten, discarded. It's what they always say at first. This place is a home. This place is free. This is Terchul.
Oh. I'm assuming I just generally would not know that this place existed. No history
Nope.
check.
Nope. It's a place where people like you who have lost something or have been lost find a new home, find peace. As he reaches out and just waves his hand into the fire. This flame was set up by the first of those. The founder, we call him. Or at least that's what his name translates to.
Sorry, you cut out. What did you say?
The founder is what we call him. Or at least that's what his name translates to in common. Alkenostu, the first inhabitant of these islands other than me and mine. You're different than most others.
In what way?
Purpose, I suppose.
In what? My lack thereof?
Quite the opposite.
What do you mean?
Most everyone that comes here does not have a purpose. Many of them think, I should have drowned. Why am I left?
Well, I still think those thoughts too.
Yes. You see his eyes drift to the engine. Yet if you truly thought that, why would you still clutch that so deeply?
I don't know. It belonged to my father. Feels like there's a constant struggle within myself, whether or not to throw it off this cliff or to continue to clutch to it.
He's been serious, straight-faced. See its slight smile crack across his face. That is purpose. As asinine as that sounds. You are
It'd be nice if I had a direct translation of what that purpose was.
just to find what to do with that. Whether to keep it and learn from it, or toss it, become your own man.
Well, I don't think I can let go of this just yet.
Well, then it would not be purpose if it was that easy. It'll take time.
Well, good thing I've got plenty of it. Actually, that reminds me. What year is it now?
The calendar here is different than the one you're used to.
No direct translation type of thing or anything like that?
Some of the other islanders could tell you. I myself do not know.
I'll figure it out later then. Not that important. Not right now. I realize neither of us have introduced ourselves. The name is Vitra, and I'll hold out a hand.
Ole. You spoke to my mother earlier. He takes your hand.
That's who that was.
Yes,
Did say I would find you here.
she often does that.
Well, she wasn't wrong.
You find yourself on my island, Holmu. You're welcome to stay.
Until I can find this purpose you speak of, I feel like it would benefit me to do so.
You arrived at a rather good time.
How so?
It is almost time for the year to change. And he looks out towards the other islands you can see. You'll get a taste of true island life.
Well, I mean, I've been to plenty of thousands of islands, so I'd enjoy it if you can show me what makes this one different.
He points to what is presumably the largest island. That is my sister's domain. That is where you go to see true islanders' life. And he looks back down over the mountain towards the smaller settlement. The people who choose to live here tend to like the peace. Not to say they don't keep me up during festivals. I recommend you go to Terran. Well, here you will most likely have time to yourself. My siblings would be able to guide you better.
Take your word for it.
There's a dock. Just there. He points again. Grace Mother docks. It'll take you to Theron. The boat goes rather frequently. But take as much time as you wish.
Oh. Sorry, bro, I do have a quick question. What are these two places down here? And then I'll point towards the Temple of Storms and the Rent Home.
Rent Home to you just seems like an island. You can see a bit of smoke leading out of it. But the Temple of Storms you see is a simple building made out of stone. That is mine temple. It's my home. In a sense, at least. Feel free to investigate.
I'll probably venture out a little bit.
Take your time. As I stated, this place is free.
Well, thank you again. I'll probably be back at some point. I don't know. I don't tend to like loud and overpopulated areas. So, seems like a nice place to come and wind down.
These islands will welcome you. No matter who or what you are.
There's a question. What Just glance down at my badly scarred arm holding the core. And then I'll just walk down after giving thanks one last time, and I'll probably just stop by the Temple of Storms, check it out.
You hear what is essentially thunder roll, and if you look back, he is gone. You reach the temple, and it is simple, to say the least. No one is inside. But how did I put the temple map? As simple as it is, as most of the islands have been, gorgeous. Matt doesn't have a map for it because I couldn't find a perfect one, but... Simple stone building, a single story. A window sits in the back, and along each side, you see depictions of storm, wind, lightning, and warriors. Each warrior different in each window. About 16 in total. 17 if you count the warrior in the back, who is presumably a tiefling with his horns filed down to stumps on his head. Each one of rolling storm backed behind them. It's quiet. As a altar sits at one end, a simple white carpet across the center of the room, pillars on either side that frame each window.
How similar does that tiefling look to Ven?
Not at all.
Mistaken then. I'll kind of bow as a show of respect.
You've been in a
This
religious
seems-
building before. You know it's a temple.
Yeah. Figures are, considering that dude can teleport at will, he probably knows. Or he'd probably see. I don't know. Whatever. I'll just walk right through Laced again. This time paying a little more attention to the actual environments on the way to the docks.
Coming back
Okay, catch
through,
my eye.
there are more people. It's been half an hour since you walked through. Because it does take a minute to get up the mountain. But they greet you. Nothing extravagant, but you see an assortment of people. Human, tiefling, dragonborn, colors you haven't seen before. You've traveled a lot. Some of these races are just extra. Tieflings with horns made of crystal, dragonborn who have wings. Even a few tieflings that have wings. Mixed with the normal human, all tan. Some with scarring and horrible deformities. You can see one man being helped by a woman out of a chair who is missing his right leg, his right eye, and half of his right hand. Being helped up, given a cane, and then walked into a building. But even though he seems crippled, worse than even your scarring, he smiles. You can see two elven children run almost bumping into you, but you step out of the way, dexterous as you are. It is alive, though quiet. People are peacefully moving. The loudest part of the day, this walk, at all has been the two children that were laughing to themselves. As you pass this larger building, this blue one here, you can hear the sound of a bit louder chatter, though nothing incredible. The smell of food, which you realize makes your stomach rumble, and the distinct smell of alcohol.
Let's check. What do I have on me at the moment? Minus the sword and the core.
Shitty ragged clothes, the core, the sword. And you check your belt, you have potions on you. Gifts that your mother made sure you always had on you. Healing potions. 6.
I'm gonna add that because I
Already did. Refresh your page.
Thank you. Well, no money for food. Oh well. And onward.
Do you say that out loud?
Yeah. More mumbling, but yeah.
Don't worry, lad. Come on inside. Do you see a dragonborn figure, black dragonborn, puts a hand on your left shoulder. There's no need for money here. If you're hungry, eat.
Are you sure?
Of course. You're new here, right?
Yeah.
Then come. Inside. Damien will feed you.
I'm definitely not gonna say no to a free meal.
This dragonborn leads you inside, and this building is nice. It's simple. Tavern. You know what a tavern looks like. A window in the back, which is marked with storms, as there is no name to the tavern. It's just a building. Bottles of alcohol that smell fruity. You are hit with it, and you can smell meat cooking in the back. As this dragonborn who led you inside calls out, "Damien! We've got someone new. Coming right out. Give me a moment." As you see a hobgoblin, after about a couple seconds, shuffle out. "Ah! Zephyr, how are you, my friend?" He reaches out and just clasps the arm of the dragonborn. "Good. This boy here seems to have just arrived. Or recently, at least. So, thought I'd show him true hospitality of the islands." "Of course. Sit, son. Eat." As he slides to another person at the bar, just pile of eggs and bacon. "What would you like to eat?"
Well, I'll take an omelet with some ham and bacon mixed in, if you will.
"Easy enough to do. I'll be right out." As the dragonborn then sits next to you. "And the same for me." "Of course." He scrambles off behind the counter. "So, son. New year? Obviously, but how recent?"
Well, kinda just washed up on shore this morning.
Oh. Lucky lad. You met the mother.
Yeah, she's the one who guided me here.
Quite lucky. Though most of you refugees tend to meet them. Or at least meet her. What'd you think?
What?
Her. It's not every day you get to speak to someone who's met the mother.
Well, she was kind.
Well, that goes without saying.
I don't know.
She's the goddess of the sea. Around here.
You'll see Vitra kind of have a moment, like a twinge at the word goddess. You said what?
Goddess of the sea. Yes, dear. The mother siren. Mother to Fole, Helokeo, Leoe.
Oh,
Yes. The guardian deities of this place. I suppose you wouldn't know. Oh, newbies are so much fun.
not.
Well, what would you like to know then?
Well, I wouldn't even know where to start. I don't think.
Well, then I suppose I can ramble a bit, if you don't mind.
Not at all. Go ahead.
Zephyr, by the way. Zephyr Aka. He offers a hand.
A pleasure. Name's Vitra. I'll reach out my hand and then realize I'm pulling out the scarred one and then use the other.
Takes the hand you offer him. No need to be ashamed of your scars, son. He smiles. Pretty much everyone here has them.
It's less of I'm ashamed of them and more like if I reach out with this hand and shake it, it will probably burn like 1,000 suns.
Ah, fresh scars then.
Yeah.
Well, a good scar tells a story. Speaking of stories, welcome to Holmer, smallest of the 3 isles of Dijum. Domain of Fole, god of storms. The warrior god.
I met him earlier, actually, I think.
Yes, he tends to spend his time towards the light.
Pretty cool viewing spot, won't lie.
It is. You get a great view of everything. You have the islands, Terran, Julgate. Suppose he informed you of the festivities to be soon?
Yeah, I was actually on the way to the docks to head over before you guys pulled me in here.
Well, I would say not to eat what the shipman gives you. It's all fish. And shittily prepared fish, nonetheless. Recommend you eat now before you get on that boat.
Yeah, I'll probably still be hungry. And I've had my fair share of, well, my own cooking at sea with fish. Probably just as bad, so.
A sailor, then.
Somewhat
You'll fit right in.
looking. Just kind of a slight nod.
You'll fit in then. Most of the people here were, at least the older generations are. It's been a while since we've seen someone brought in. At least Holmu. A few have washed up on Jilkate, but even for the goddess, for the mother, the seas have been unruly lately. But no need to bring you down with the tales of the outside world. We're on the Isles now. As he says that, 2 plates are put in front of the both of you. An omelet that smells fucking heavenly. You don't know how long you were asleep, but it was long enough to be starving. Eat. We can talk after you finish. I can see you drooling.
Vitra probably takes a bite, and then, considering how good it smells and looks, I'm assuming it's just as good.
It's delicious.
And for the first time since arriving on the island, smiles. Then, I think the weight, the reality of the situation that he's in right now would settle in, and it would quickly fade.
I've seen that look before. You just realized the situation, didn't you?
No, that obvious, huh?
You get used to it. I myself am a native of the islands, born here, but lived long enough to see a number of people be brought in. They all have the same look. Hit with the weight. There was this one fool who took it up immediately. Though good on him. The islands are kind. Much kinder than the outside world, from what I've heard. To relax a little.
Very correct.
Relax a little. You'll enjoy it more.
I'll do my best to.
If you do want enjoyment, head to Terran. It'll treat you to... Oh... probably the most excitement you'll ever see.
Sounds like a distant dream right now. Don't think I wouldn't mind having a little peek over there.
Much different from here. More colorful. And loud. Very, very loud.
Sounds fun.
It is. We'll spend the next few days preparing for the festival, and then drink what is essentially the next few days or next few years worth of alcohol.
Festival?
Yes.
What kind? In what purpose? Weird. There's a different weight to that word now.
Oh, they must have spoken to you then. Said something about purpose.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'll probably figure that out later.
Yes, he likes his riddles. But Kelushindo, or the day of festivity, about 3 days away. Essentially New Year's. I believe that's the rough translation from Quarry. It'll be hectic here as well, but Terran is where you really want to go. It's the largest island for a reason. But he sort of looks you up and down. You should most likely change. Those clothes don't look necessarily comfortable. No offense, of course.
I prefer the term battle scarred, thank you.
Once you're done eating, there's a building across the street. Seamstress. You might have seen her. And her father. A scarred man. Anawa is her name. She'll get you clothing. She should have your size. Though you are a bit bigger than normal, so... She'll have something. She has something for everyone.
Well then, should probably go and check that out then, before
Of course.
these clothes become even more tattered than they already are.
Tell her Zephyr sent you. She'll probably slap you, but... You know.
Well, guess we'll find out.
Welcome to the islands, Vitra.
Thank you.
He stands, takes the omelet in one hand, just palms it, and then throws it in the large dragonborn mouth, and walks out. And you're left in the tower.
To get some clothes.
You move over to... It's right here. It's in this little alcove. No, it's this one, sorry. Right. You knock on the door of the building you saw the injured man helped into. And there's not even a door. Knock on, like, the side as it's just curtains. Come in! Who the hell knocks now?
Oh, sorry, I think this is the place that Zephyr told me to come to?
What does he want?
No, he didn't want anything. He guided me here to see if I can get a change of clothes.
She looks you up and down. Oh, you're new.
Yeah.
Well, why didn't you say that in the first place? Come in, come in.
Okay.
She steps out from behind a counter. What? Let's see. And she just takes the, like, tatters of your shirt and holds it close. For reference, this is a furball, or a human woman. Longer, sort of gray hair. It does look natural, but an interesting color on a person because it's very gray. It looks like she should be older than she seems. Eyes of a similar color. Tanned like every other person on the island. So let's see. Okay. I think I have something in your size. It might be a bit big. It's meant mostly for furball. And she steps over to a rack of just clothes. Any particular color do you want?
What do you have?
She gestures. Anything. Magic's a funny thing. You can just get whatever the hell you want.
I don't really mind. I'll go with something plain. How about gray?
I like that color. She just flips through a bunch of clothes and then pulls something out. It's just a, like, white shirt. Nothing special. Frills. Short-sleeved frills. That you can see it ties. Imagine like a sailor shirt that's short sleeve. It sort of ties at the top with some string. And you definitely need some pants. If you're going with a gray shirt, we'll go with shorts or long-legged.
Long-legged, probably. Pants.
Alright, then... here you go. And she throws you just a couple of pairs of simple linen. There's a changing room right there. You can throw those on.
And I will do just that.
You throw them on, and they're a little bit big. They seem to be meant for someone who had a bit of a bigger waist, but... or meant for a figure that had a larger waist, but they fit nonetheless as you button them and attach a belt. Do you need new shoes as well?
Well, considering I'm barefoot right now, yeah, probably.
Alright. Boots, high heels, sandals.
Boots sound good.
Alright. Knee high, calf high, thigh high.
Just above the ankle.
Alright. They are thrown over, like, the door, and you have to, like, dodge out of the way as they just almost hit you in the head. Those should do. Tell me if you want something else.
Thank you.
Of course. You hear some rustling as you're tying the boots and getting changed. So, you're new, right? It's been a while since someone new came to the islands.
I've been hearing that quite a lot recently, but...
Well, it's
Yep.
true.
Sure am.
What's your story?
I'll glance down at the core again. I'd prefer not to get into it.
I get that. Lots of people are like that. My dad took years to even tell anyone. Even to tell me. I mean, he got attacked by a dragon turtle, so it's kind of traumatizing. But lots of the people here have stories like that.
Well then, maybe someday I'll be comfortable enough to open up with that.
Well, if you stay on Holmu, I'm sure we'll talk again. Kinda do all the clothing here.
I plan to come back at various points, I'd hope.
It is the most peaceful place to stay.
So I've heard. I don't particularly
Well,
like concerts.
Chukate is not too bad either. Though it tends to be louder.
Not really my style.
Well, maybe not loud, but more... They celebrate a lot. And, you know, there's that huge graveyard next to the city, which is kind of a mood killer for all but Leoways followers.
Yeah, I would imagine.
It's not that bad. It's a real pretty place. I'm sure you'll see it. But I guess welcome. Most people just call me Lee, but I'm Lee Winshay. I do all the clothing here. At least on Holmu, though sometimes I export farther.
Thank you, Miss Lewish. And I'll reach out a hand.
This is the part where you introduce yourself, and she shakes your hand.
Right. The name's Vitra.
Vitra. Well, welcome to the islands, and more specifically, Holma. Quick rundown. I'm sure Zephyr didn't tell you anything, because she rolls her eyes. The islands don't use money. Well, they sometimes do. But it's more a trade system. Depends on the person. Often it's a you do this for me, I do this for you type of thing. You get a freebie for right now because you don't know, but next time I'll goss you.
I'd appreciate paying you guys back for this hospitality, so I don't particularly mind.
Literally everyone on the islands is repaying hospitality to Lady Guestia at all times, so it's a normal thing. We extend it forward. I mean, I wouldn't be here if Lady Guestia didn't save my dad.
I see.
So the best way to pay us back is to extend it forward. Help the others.
Then that I shall.
You'll just fit right in. Well, if you are going to Terran, you should probably catch your boat.
Oh, right. Forgot that those are timed.
Not really, it's just better to move quickly, because usually there's no real reason to. You could take as much time as you want, I don't know. Just want to get there before the festivities start, because, ooh, you're not going to be able to get in the dock.
Oh, well, then probably should hurry then.
Yeah, probably. Have fun.
Thank you, and thanks again for the clothing.
No problem. You walk your way to the simple dock. It is stone, but mixture of stone and wood. Beautiful colors. Probably the most colorful building, as a single sailboat sits there, though you can see a few more that are coming closer. As you see a Triton. A race that most people from the outside world would not necessarily be too familiar with, but as a sailor you've seen a number. Green skin, scales, you can see barnacles are crawling up the side of his arm, though they seem to have been purposely removed near the elbow to make sure he can still move his joints. Sort of fin-like ears and slicked back green hair that's tied into a man bun. Oh, hello, lad. How are you?
Oh, hello. Doing alright?
How can I help you?
I was told to go take this boat to the island where the festival is being held.
Well, every island has a festival. Which one are you looking for?
Started with a E, I believe.
Ah, Terran. Well,
Yeah, that one.
then get on the boat, let's go.
Alright, sounds good.
You take a step on, and even before you take a step on, the ship is already shifting. Right. Well, it'll take a couple hours to get there if the wind is right, which it normally is. The island of Terran will greet you soon. As this energetic... That's the wrong fucking map. As this energetic Triton is talkative, but doesn't ask you anything important enough to roleplay. He just is loud. And generally likes to explain that he's a captain. He's a third-generation member of the islands, and that he's the fastest captain in all of the islands. Which is not too hard to know, as he's very much aware that's a lie. But as you get
pay attention in passing, but mainly think to myself.
You see a lot. There are colorful fish, but looking at the islands and going over this, you can see that basically every inch of the water is a coral reef, a massive one. Decently deep. You can see just beautiful, bright colors that make the ocean floor seem like a tapestry of movement. As you can see, there is movement with thousands of animals. Reaching out to touch the water, it's warm, crystal clear as well, as you can see everything. You can see tritons and even a few mermaids swimming beneath the boat. They turn up and wave as they see you. Generally peaceful as the wind carries you very nicely. And takes 6-7 hours probably to get to Terran. But eventually you pass through a channel and end up the Playing Seas dock, passing past what looks to be a farmstead that covers mostly this entire area. Terran is loud immediately. You can feel the change from being on the ocean, and especially from Holmu, as it is bright even for the daytime. Though it is like 6 p.m. now, you can see Solwyn, which sits above the rest of the island, is just a lights and colors, and you can even hear music. It is intimidating, to say the least. You arrive at the same time as a few other ships. Namely, you see a furbog step off, and a group of people with masks on. Red clothes. Generally white masks, though there's one wearing a gray one. You get a weird vibe from them. But none after that. They don't really greet you. They do give like a nod, a few hellos, but in passing as they walk away.
It's a dock, so I'm assuming there'd be some form of working equipment at it.
Yeah.
I'm looking for a glove.
Just a swipe.
Yeah, probably just to cover the scarred arm.
Easy enough to find one. You don't even have to roll for it. So as you do walk away, you hear, "Who took my only the right glove?" From some disgruntled dock worker. As you walk out, and as you leave the docks, we'll leave that for session 1.
Yippee!
The Vitra is now on the islands.
Sick. Oh. Oh,
Welcome back.
Vitra, how many traumatic developments I have in store for you.
Mm-hmm.
Christ.
Yep. You are now on Terran, preparing for the New Year's Day festival.
W.
Yep.
If you're alive, you can unmute now.
Wasn't my best DMing, but hope you
I mean,
enjoyed.
it was still damn good. Probably the best introduction to a character I've played, for sure. I think Vitra will be fun.
I agree.
Very,
Remember,
like,
also,
similar yet
you can
bad.
add traveler's clothes to your inventory so you're clothed.
You said,
Or sorry,
what?
common clothes.
You said, just common clothes to the inventory?
Yep, just so that you're not naked. You have potions of healing, some weapon, and your funny item, but you do not have anything else. As you're hella broke. Though luckily that's not too bad on the islands.
Go.
Luckily that's not all that bad on the islands.
Yippee. This will be fun.
Yes, it will.
I thought the scene with Ben at the beginning was pretty fun. Not gonna lie, that was pretty nice. Where did Tom go, actually?
You probably fell asleep. It is
Ironic, because he did say that he's never fallen asleep at call before.
Yeah.
So,
And he's recording.
and he's recording, so he's gonna have plenty of footage to filter out. Oh
Yep.
boy.
Or he walked away to use the bathroom.
That is true. Well, shrug. I mean, he did say he wanted to do his session 02, so I doubt he'd have fallen asleep.
He might have.
True. But.
Or maybe he just...
I'm holding out hope. Shrug, honestly.
He is idle. Yes, Tom, we did.
Yeah, we're done.
Ah, he's eating. I need to find another boat now.
Well,